Hi everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest, completely full auto team that I have found. Now this is only for the normal difficulty of the Hydra, but this is rotation 4. This is ridiculously difficult. I've heard so many people saying it's awful, because it is awful. It sucks. It really does suck, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the most consistent team I found for normal, that I just leave it do its thing, and it's getting me that 1 key damage every single time, which is great. By the way, you probably saw it already, but I do of course have our 1 key team for hard difficulty, so that's already up on the channel. You can check that out and the idea behind that team. And then if you're looking for, teams without legendary champions, you're looking for more mid-game friendly stuff. Not super early game friendly, because you just won't have the gear. I don't think this rotation. But if you're mid-game, of course, there is the epics only video on the channel as well, right? So if you're annoyed seeing fusion champions or legendaries in today's video, you can check out the epic only video, which will give you ideas for team comps that don't need any of those champions. But you can get an idea for some of the sort of stuff people are using. So like GBJ has got a really impressive team here. Obviously really good champions, but Trunda, Tunisia, they're absolutely smashing it. Excuse me. I have Grat actually coming in with like a really high-end team, and you can see how rough this rotation is. Grat was, getting that 1 key on Brutal in the previous rotation. The score's gone down this rotation. It's still a very impressive key, I think, but just sort of showing how punishing this rotation is. But yeah, for him, we've got like the Royal Guards absolutely slamming. And normal, we've got teams that are coming in sort of like this, right? With Cecilia actually absolutely crushing it in this particular team with a lot of support. So let's dive in. And let me show you this team. So this is the team that I've got. We're going to have to dive in. I'm going to have to restart it a few times in a row. So unfortunately, my Stag Knight is just too squishy. My Stag Knight's only level 50, and I cannot afford to get him up to 6 stars yet. I just can't afford to do it. Okay, so we're going to have to restart this run already. We basically need... I'll show you what the problem is. But yeah, my Stag Knight's too squishy, so I can't bring him in. But what we're trying to do with this team is Mother Cybele, her A1, when it's booked up, is a 50% chance to put decreased speed for 2 turns. It's an AoE. So we need her to put decreased speed on the Head of Decay, the one that cleanses, but not on the Head of Blight, the one that places Poison Cloud. To sort of simulate being a single target decreased speed. Now, she can put it on the other heads, the Head of Mischief and the Head of Wrath. Don't really care what happens to them, but just for the Head of Decay, this is what needs to happen. So we got to just keep restarting the run to actually get this to happen. And this does work for her unbooked as well. You're just going to have to restart your run more times. But I can tell you this right now, guys. It's a lot less frustrating to, just restart the run a few times. I'm not going to lie, it might take up to like 10 restarts. It could take a while. You see, there we go. She landed on the wrong head, so we've got to restart. It can take a while, and it's annoying, but it's much, much less annoying than, getting 10 minutes, 15 minutes into a run, having to stress out, be constantly watching it, and having to restart it like when you're halfway through because you got some bad luck. We have this consistent luck at the start, and you can understand what that luck is. So she got decreased speed on both of them. That's no good. I'll probably edit the video until we actually get this on, because it does take a while. It does take a while. So I'll let you know how many attempts it takes as well. Let's see. Maybe this is the one. If this is not the one, we're doing the old editing the extra turn. Relentless set. Oh, she put it on both of them. You're too good, Mother Cybele. Why did I book you? You're too good. Right, I'll be back in a sec when this actually is, we get the decreased speed debuff landing the way we want it.
2,000 years later.
Okay, we did it. There we go, guys. Oh my god, we did it. Target him, please, Lydia. She needs to put block buffs. So just that is one little manual bit right there, just to point it out. My Umbral Enchantress, if you watched my CVC stream last week, and we'll be doing another CVC stream next CVC. It's actually going to be a really big one for me. Probably won't be personal rewards, but it's going to be the CVC where I get my Mithrala Lifebane. And I'm going to have all the books, all the chickens saved up. We're just going to, boom, 6-star her, fully book her, and just have Mithrala ready to go. It's going to be amazing. I'm like so hyped for it. It's going to be so good. But yeah, if you watch the last CVC stream, you'll know that I'm still 1 book short of the 100% block buffs on Umbral, which is kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is, right? There's not too much we can do about it. And like I said, guys, this is pretty much full auto. We could target this head, but we're just going to interact as little as possible. What we will do, we will target the head that eats us. We will do that, but that's all we're going to do. So even though this looks scary, we've built a super tanky team here. So even when it looks bad, we're actually going to be totally fine. So we don't need to worry at all. We built a very, very tanky team here. And we've got Revive on Death as well from Mother to really help us and protect us and keep us safe. So we should be totally good. But yeah, what is going on with this team? Well, we've got some really fun things happening here. So hopefully you'll get to see some Sigmund action. Looks like, here he goes. Yeah, remove buff. I guess it doesn't really matter because his buffs are dropping off anyway. But Sigmund is fantastic here. There he goes again. Boom. Remove buff. Sigmund is great for this. I'm really happy to bring him into this rotation. I will be doing a Sigmund guide soon. I just need to, I'm going to wait for the Bannerlord faction crypt to come back around. Sigmund, though, he's coming in. Now, this is the one thing we will do just to make it more consistent, just to, you know, just to lock in that one key. We are going to just click on the Head of Decay, or whoever it is that happens to eat your champion. We'll just click on them and make sure that we just break that person free. And that's it. That's literally all we're going to do for this run, yeah? But he gives us a big shield, 30% of his max HP as a shield, and strengthen buff on a 3-turn cooldown. There it goes. Fantastic, right? That's a Brogni size shield. Obviously, it doesn't give you the healing and doesn't reflect damage like Brogni does, but it's still fantastic. So that's really good. There is a bit of overlap here with Lydia. Lydia also gives us strengthen, but, you know, that's okay. No huge deal. His A1, bonk, removes the increased attack. How good is that? So useful. And then his A2 is an AoE decrease attack, basically 100% chance to land that. So really great source of just protecting your team, making you tanky, all the rest. So good. And then his passive is that whenever he's hit, there's a 40% chance that he just reduces all the buffs on the enemy team or on whoever hits him. So that's another way to remove buffs through Poison Cloud, to keep Head of Wrath a bit more under control, all that sort of fun stuff. Look at Mother Cybele popping off as well with her Relentless set. Lydia's in here. She's giving us the increased speed. She's doing decreased defense and weaken. Obviously, Lydia, she's like, I think she's easily top 10 champion in the game. Maybe top 5. I just think she's phenomenal. Lydia's so good. So she's coming in here. Like I said, if you want to see a team without some of these fusions and legendaries, you can check out that epic only video. That's the best thing I can offer. This is more for mid to later game players that want a nice, easy one key. Yeah, we've got, this is a really fun combo. I love this combo. Rectordrath plus Torah Rhymehide. I love this combo. It is so nice. What is going on with Rector? Look how hard he's hitting too. Really nice. Rectordrath, she obviously brings us a revive, which is fantastic. She's very easy to build as a great defensive champion as well. Very tanky, great resistance, great defensive stats. So she's going to be a real anchor point to your runs. You don't really need to worry because she's just not going to, like on normal, she's not going to die. It's just really not possible for her to die. And then the fun thing about her, right, is that she gives you bonus resistance when you got Perfect Veil on. And she also heals people every time they take a turn with Perfect Veil. But when she does her AoE heal, if people are really low on life, it actually doesn't put Perfect Veil. It gives them continuous heal instead. That's where the Torah combo is really nice. Because Torah, his AoE move, I thought he was going to do it right there. Perfectly timed for the video. He did not, but almost. But Otherworld Breach, when that comes in, that puts Perfect Veil on everyone except Torah. So that gives you a great source of Perfect Veil for your whole team, even if you are lower on life. And then Rector's extra healing starts kicking in, the extra resistance starts kicking in. It's just a fantastic combo, to be completely honest. It works really well. I actually realized while we're talking, we just completely bypassed that one key threshold. So yeah, I guess we could sort of leave it there pretty much. Like, we've done it easily. Boom. Like, cool. I'm not going to let this one run out quite yet because I want to keep experimenting through this week. I'm recording this like Saturday night. Not sure when I'm going to publish. Maybe tomorrow night, Sunday night. So yeah, I'm going to keep experimenting. But let me show you the stats on these champions and what's going on and some potential alternatives as well. But yeah, like you saw, it's super consistent, right? All you got to do is, admittedly, you got to restart it a few times to get Mother to land her thing, the decreased speed on the right target. Once you do, you're good. I mean, I don't think you even need to individually target the people that eat your champions. You're going to be totally good because we've built a bunch of tanky damage dealers. It's fantastic. I think it can work a bit on hard as well. The issue you start to run into in the harder difficulties is that your damage probably won't be quite high enough to burst people out of the really awkward devour mechanics. Like if a head that, if Head of Mischief devours someone, gets some extra turn meter from stealing turn meter, you might not be able to break them free quickly enough, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a little bit luck dependent there. Like, will you land decreased speed on it? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Lydia, it's the same Lydia build I've had in every video. Lydia's like this, so she's very fast, very accurate, tanky, all the rest. Lydia, she's amazing. What else can we say? Her masteries are like this. You can replace Lydia, of course, but she just does her job better than everyone else because she brings you so much in this A2, and the backup block buffs is great as well. So yeah, I mean, you could bring any other sort of decreased defense champion. You could bring in to supplement like an Ugo. You could bring in even stuff like Stag Knight, Duck the Pierced, anything like that. 3-turn decreased defense, that will do the job just fine. Obviously, Cecilia, we saw that in someone else's comp. Cecilia might actually be better than Lydia in this case. But yeah, because we don't need the strengthen. We actually have the strengthen from Sigmund. Now, if you're going to use Brogni instead of Sigmund, then Lydia's really good because she gives you the strengthen and the speed. So yeah, there you go. That's Lydia. Then we had, of course, Mother Cybele. She's amazing. I love Mother Cybele. So she's built out to actually do really good damage, which is part of where it's coming from. Her crit rate has fallen off a bit since I did my Mother Cybele guide, because I realized that her weapon was actually an upgrade to my Bat Eater team, which has enabled me now to just one key Ultra Nightmare basically every day, which is just great. It's really freed up my clan boss runs in a big way. My Bat Eater damage dealer before this was Ninja. You can check out my Ninja and Gintoro video where I swap their gear over, and you can see all that sort of stuff in action. So her crit rate's a bit low, but she's got solid health. She's just solid all around. Again, pretty fast, good accuracy, really good damage. So she's coming in. She actually puts out a lot of damage, and she's got like counterattack stuff and War Master. No real surprise right there. I think one thing you might have spotted it as well earlier that I was testing as an alternative. We're looking for someone that just pumps out lots of AoE damage. So you could put in something like a Yanaka. That can work as well. Mine's not fully geared now. The issue with Yanaka, I found that mine at least is very squishy for Hydra. So you can maybe drop her damage a bit and up her defenses a bit. Not 100% sure, but you could do something like that. Yanaka and then put in Stag Knight. So ditch like Lydia. Get rid of Lydia and Mother. Put in Yanaka and Stag Knight. That might be a good combo too, where Stag Knight gives you the AoE decreased defense. He gives you that decreased speed, so you can do that little trick at the start with the whole manipulating the poison cloud stuff. And then Yanaka is going to bring you that AoE damage. She also brings you AoE leech basically as well, which is really good. And she does actually work very well unbooked. I got some nice one key teams with her. It's just less consistent. It's messy. And putting in a Yanaka that is this squishy, I would definitely say you want to watch your key and be careful. She also, you might want to bring in something like an Arbiter, or Brogni instead of Sigmund, something that would give you increased attack, because she is an attack-based champion. So a couple of things to consider there. But yeah, that's a decent replacement for Mother. The next champion we had in was Sigmund. Sigmund, he's awesome. Awesome. Stay tuned for Sigmund guide coming soon. So we got him with really good HP and defense, really good speed, sacrifice some crit rate, and then we have accuracy up there. But I'm really happy with this build overall. He does good solid damage. Doesn't crit all the time, but he does good damage. Yeah, one nice thing, actually really recommend for him, these revenge accessories are god tier on Sigmund. They're also god tier on Mother. Unfortunately, I have none, but they'd be god tier on Mother. Just more counterattacks, that A1, so good. Don't have it, but yeah, something to bear in mind. They're super good for him though, again, because of this fairer fight. Again, you can see I don't have it fully booked. I'll book him eventually. But yeah, just that chance to remove a buff every single time he counterattacks is so good. It's so good. And then equitable, right? 40% chance to decrease all buffs in the attacker by 1 turn. Really nice against Head of Wrath, Head of Blight, to control them just that little extra bit. And then he's in pretty standard stuff, longer debuffs, and War Master. So that's him. Again, instead of Sigmund, you could bring in someone like Brogni. They're really going for, what I really like about them is the shield, right? Big old shield. He also gives you the strengthen. If you got Lydia in, the strengthen isn't really doing anything for you. He's the decreased attack, but Brogni also works really well. He's got the shield as well. He's got some buff removal on his A2, so Brogni's a great one. If you don't have these legendaries, I think that Melga, I really do like Melga. She can remove some debuffs from you. Again, I don't have my Melga fully booked. I was too lazy. But this was booked and her res was booked, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. But she has a nice shield. Not as good but she does have a good shield with a continuous heal on a short cooldown. So I think Melga is a nice alternative. They're really just in there to keep your team alive. So that is Sigmund. Then we have Torah. So Torah, he is coming in, and he is, once again, he's actually built with very high defense here and really good speed. He's a bit sort of mixed with the resistance and accuracy. I honestly think for Hydra normal, even Hydra hard, you could drop that accuracy down to like 200, 210, 220 and crank the resistance up more. That might actually work better. That might be better because I do feel like he gets targeted quite often by Head of Mischief. I guess because he gives himself such a big shield that never gets really destroyed. And especially if Perfect Veil gets put on by Rectordrath. So that might be something that's worth considering. A high resistance to Torah might be just what the doctor ordered. You know, he won't place the decreased accuracy as much, but he doesn't attack with his A1 all that often anyway, so it's okay. And then he has extended buffs and extended debuffs. You could maybe ditch the extended debuffs if you wanted. And he's got War Master stuff. So that is Torah. Then we had two epics. We had Umbral Enchantress, counter attack stuff, and actually turn meter stuff as well. Some turn meter stuff there too. I don't know if it super matters. That's just what I have her with, and War Master. And then she is coming in, and she is, again, nice and tanky, solid speed. This is one of the big things about this comp is we've got a lot of defense-based damage dealers. Umbral Enchantress, Sigmund, Torah. Torah's coming in, he gives us increased defense and block debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown. This is a good thing. I set this as priority number 1. So he always does this first. It means he's going to get out less Otherworld breaches, but it's okay. He's always going to then Otherworld breach with increased defense. So it's going to hit harder. So damage-wise, it works out. And because he's not our only source of Perfect Veil, because Rector also gives it, I feel like it actually works really well. So that's, again, part of why they combo so well together. But yeah, all these defense-based damage dealers. Again, she's missing that 10% chance to place block buffs, unfortunately, but it's okay. But yeah, that's basically how she's built up, right? Just fairly tanky with some crit rate. But yeah, focusing first on that tankiness and the accuracy. And then finally, Rectordrath, who is coming in, and she's just built very survivable. So good high health, solid defense, very fast, and tons of resistance. You don't need this much resistance. About 330 to like 350 is more than enough, really, for normal. That's plenty for normal, should be. 540 is probably enough for Nightmare Hydra, I think, right now. So she's super resistancy. This is for PvP, for Arena, which is still a bit low for Arena, but hey, there you go. That's what she's got. Woof, woof. Hello, dog. She does have the resistance mastery. So again, if you're building her just for Hydra, you would again want to give her War Master. And then again, the extended buffs is the big thing. Which one? This one. Extending buffs. This is the massive thing for her. It's so good with her. And she gives you that, she gives you the Perfect Veils and the healing, revive, all the rest. And there you go. I mean, are there any other replacements? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. It gets kind of difficult. Just bear in mind all the sort of things we're bringing in. Like I said, I really do I love this trifecta of heroes right here. It's so good, right? Because Sigmund brings you the Brogni-esque shielding, but he also brings you some buff control, the decreased attack, and you don't need the block debuffs that Brogni brings because Torah has it covered, and then Rectordrath and Torah, I think, are just a wonderful combo to keep your team alive. Love me, I just really like this team, and you saw how consistent it is, and just the final thing so you can see it is how I've set up their presets. So Mother Cybele actually is basically nothing done. Just make sure she does Mask of Dread first. She sort of sometimes uses these. You might even want to turn Uncanny Transfer off just in case, because it can lead to bad situations where the Head of Mischief will steal block damage off of her because she has no resistance. So maybe turn that off. But she'll do Soul Shepherd when it's needed, but not all the time, because Torah brings increased defense. Umbral, turn her Provoke off because it gives her block active skills. Immolate, priority number 1. Lydia, Siren's Wail, priority number 1. That's important because she won't do it when you're attacking decapitated heads for some reason. Sigmund, just leave him do his thing. Torah, priority 1 on Wings of Shelter, maximum uptime and increased defense and block debuffs. And then Rector, prioritize her revive. I think she prioritizes her heal by default, which is not really what you want to do. And yeah, there you go. Simple team. Works every time. I mean, as long as you have the decreased speed out, works every time. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Again, there's also memberships. You can click the join button and check it out if you want to support the channel. That's a new thing as well, which I should really promote at the start of the videos. I'm bad at this. There you go. Thanks for watching. Oh shit. I'll see you next time. Bye.